If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.
Hey everyone, welcome to our fourth episode, our fourth volume, our fourth book.
We're on episode 4
of Netflix
and Kill.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while, but we're reunited. We didn't have to do a Skype session, a radio session.
It took a while to come up with some topics.
Yeah. Colleen was away in Washington visiting her sister, right?
Yep, and Oliver got a new job.
I got a new job, yeah. It's really stressful. Adulting is
hard.
Oh my god, we're like in sync. See what happens when you do like a podcast? Like, what the heck? Anyways, so thanks for joining us on our fourth episode. Like we said, it's going to be a good one. Well, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yes, we have a lot of things to talk about.
You want to start us off? Because I'm sure you have a lot to say about this first topic.
Okay, we are going to start with Taylor Swift is going through boyfriends faster than bunnies procreate.
Yeah. This is...
First of all, what's the turnover time between her boyfriends so far?
Calvin Harris, was it?
I think it's about a 2-week turnover time.
It really was. And she was with him for like, what, a year?
A year,
Well, you know, she needs to make another album. She's got to get more inspiration from someone new.
Part of me doesn't blame her for falling for Tom Hiddleston because it is Tom Hiddleston.
I don't blame her either.
I blame him for going that low. I mean, he's very classy. He's very, he has I feel like he has standards. He's very posh, and Taylor Swift is just...
Is Calvin Harris like British?
He is British.
He is? Okay, thought so. She has a thing for these British guys.
But Tom Hiddleston just seems classier than Calvin Harris.
Like, because Calvin Harris, he's like a DJ, and whereas...
He just seems like really chill, nice guy. Not that Tom Hiddleston doesn't, but he also seems very, like he has standards. Like he's looking for a genuine person, not a Taylor Swift.
And he's a freaking A-lister. Whereas, I mean...
Calvin Harris is, he's okay.
He's low-key. Not Calvin Harris, but Tom Hiddleston's low-key. But the fact that, like, Taylor Swift, she kind of seems like she's, she goes for, like, music people, like Harry Styles, Calvin Harris,
she's with Joe Jonas,
So, I'm not sure...
Oh, she was with Taylor Lautner.
Oh, yeah, but that was kind of like a young thing, They're like the two Taylors, Hollywood, high school
But does Taylor Swift really have serious boyfriends? I mean...
She doesn't.
We don't know.
I don't know. And I feel horrible, because I think I like Taylor Swift's music.
Why do you have to whisper that?
Because I feel like I'm going to get, stoned or something, egged.
I love Tom Hiddleston, and I was more disappointed with him because I feel like he could get anybody. So why would you settle for Taylor Swift?
But, coming from Tom Hiddleston's, point of view, you could, like you said, have anyone. You can have Emilia Clarke for crying out loud.
Yeah, and it's also it has to do with him being older, So I feel like he's a lot more... do you know how old he is? He's in his 40s. He's in his 30s.
30s, okay.
Definitely older than Calvin Harris. I'm thinking 35-ish because that's about the same age as Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's about 26, I believe.
Yeah, but it's just I feel like she's still young and she's still trying to just date around, which is fine. There's no shame in that. But Tom Hiddleston just seems like, he wants someone more mature.
And for some reason, I thought Tom Hiddleston was seeing someone or am I wrong?
He was rumored to be dating, what's her name? Who plays Scarlet Witch?
Oh, really?
And I was so into that.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, they were rumored to be dating.
Oh,
it was never really proven, but I was totally into that.
I would be in that too. I don't know how old she is, granted.
She's a little older than Taylor Swift, but she just seems a lot more mature.
Yeah, and plus she's getting up there. She's probably
well, they'd see.
She's an Avengers. They're in the same MCU.
Yeah, I feel like they'd see each other.
Yeah.
But she just seems more mature, more willing to settle down.
How long are you giving this relationship? How much longer?
I think it's a fling.
And of course there was a whole, is it just publicity? But
I think it is a lot of it's just publicity. It's a little too quick. I mean, although we saw them at the Met Ball dancing together.
But whatever. These Hollywood stars and their relationships are just, I don't know. Taylor, I love your music. Good luck. Tom, boy,
you can do better.
Oh yes, both. But
Tom, Amelia's available.
She is. I'm gonna ask her out.
It's okay, I'll take Tom Hiddleston.
Okay, good. All right, it works out.
Well, in lighter news, Warcraft is apparently a huge hit in China.
Yeah, because the World of Warcraft, the actual game, this doesn't surprise me because that's where it was like, those are where the real players are. They're all in the Asian countries. That's where it's big. That's where all the players, the die-hard players, people like forget to feed their children literally because they're playing World of Warcraft.
Did you play World of Warcraft?
I played it for a little bit in high school. I played it sophomore year, and it was so addicting. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then like I had like 4 characters. I had like an elf, and then I had like a human.
So you have experience with these
I do,
players
just a little bit, but I was a noob the whole entire time. My stepdad, he like got me into it. I didn't know what I was doing, honestly. But I only played it for a couple months, and then I just stopped. And like you have to pay money for it, so like no reason why I like stopped. No, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So in China, apparently about more than half the users, more than half of the couple million users of World of Warcraft are living there. And to put it into perspective, I think World of Warcraft has now hit $300 million worldwide. It has made about $30 million within the U.S.
Can I just say before I say anything? Well, I didn't even know there was a Warcraft movie, to be honest, until like 2 weeks before it was released. That's like, I'm just gonna say that. So, China is apparently the one. Like, how much money did it make in China?
Well, I think it's like 200 million of it was in China, if not more, because my numbers are a little, I think it's about a week off or so. So last I checked, about 200 million came from China. We are now at 300 million, so I haven't looked to see.
So it's failing in the U.S.
So it is failing in the U.S., but it's like doubled its budget or tripled its budget in its numbers in China. Which is crazy, you guys. We're going to bring this back to our first episode where we were talking about Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so
hello.
So this is very, wow, we kind of, what's this? What is with us coming full circle?
We're coming full circle, guys. We talked about how there is a market overseas, and I think this proves that there's a huge untapped market overseas. So I don't know why we're not getting more diversity, guys.
I really don't know why either. This is a perfect opportunity to incorporate some more color, some more faces.
Races, sexualities, whatever.
Because we're going to be visiting countries and making movies.
Literally, it's like, what, 5, not even more than 5 times what it made in the U.S.
Because people don't realize things that are popular in the U.S. or China or Japan or Australia, they might not actually be popular in their own respective countries. But in other countries, like, it's huge, it's flourishing. So this idea of making films for other countries, like, it is actually brilliant, and people don't even, like, realize it. So
right. And I think also people don't realize that we in America don't need to all see white people.
Yeah, because I think people are just kind of like, they're not 100% for this, because also, like, oh, you're only, like, successful. It's only going to be, generate success if it's in, like, the U.S., you know?
So for all you business people that think that, look at World of Warcraft.
Who are into the money. If you're thinking about the money, think outside the box, or think outside the U.S. It's not that hard.
Sure.
But do you want to take Kit Harington?
Yes, on that topic, we're going to move into, I don't think Kit Harington understands the definition of sexism.
Yeah, and maybe we should kind of, like,
explain it
to him a little bit more. So, recently, Kit Harington is all about saying how there's sexism towards him and, I guess, men in general in Hollywood. And how it's all about, like, your looks and the body and the scenes and showing your chest, and I mean, we saw, like, his butt kind of a little bit when he came back. But anyways,
he thinks it's a little sexist.
Yeah. To play devil's advocate just a little bit, because I disagree with him overall. I can understand where he's coming from in the sense that, like, Hollywood looks for, like, these really attractive, chiseled, the 6-pack and everything. Their chest is, yes, okay, that's what Hollywood gravitates towards in their selection of men for actors. We don't even need to give you a list because you already know they're at the top of your head right now. But like, when men are getting a higher paycheck than women, I feel like that's more of a sexism in the industry. You know?
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
I have to say is that it's true, okay, but it's not like only towards men, because it happens to women as well.
Yeah,
that's why do you think in every James Bond movie the Bond girl is always like 30 or younger, and it's always like these revolving doors of women, and they're always rebooting because people age out, they get too old, they're not good looking. There's very few stars over the age of 60 that you can even think of. I mean, I think it's just Meryl Streep and Helen Mirren. Like, I think it's just those two people. So I think it's true, but it's something experienced by everybody, and I think Kit Harington is ignoring the reality of the situation where if you take it out of the industry, women are still like identified as with their bodies, while men can just go around with being schlubby. And if you are in good like, men don't get catcalled as much like when women do.
Just like in real life, basically.
And that is also a difference, because you could look like Kit Harington and you won't get catcalled, but if you are a woman, you better believe someone's going to call you out and try to hit on you.
It's like, yeah, you have an amazing body, but, you know, in these films or in these shows, it's never like, oh, this guy, like, you're never being, like, harassed, I think, whereas the women are.
Yeah, like, you'll never be harassed in the same way that woman is.
That's at least not what we're seeing.
Yeah, and I mean, if you take it out of the industry, you definitely don't get harassed. And
like, women, they barely ever have, like, their shirts off. I mean, Game of Thrones, okay, obviously, yeah, there is nudity, but, like, regularly, like, on an actual broadcast television show, like, you know, we're never going to see a woman with her shirt off, basically.
Which, actually, to that point, the amount of body, I guess, surface, like the body surface of a woman that's nude, I think is actually more than a man, because most often in, like, sex scenes, you only really see, like, the front of, like, the chest up of a guy, and you always see, like, boobs and a butt of a girl.
Yeah. So that's even strengthens that point. Or women's nipples, they're horrible bad. We can't see them, you know. Free the nipple, obviously, isn't something that's ever going to be, well, currently isn't going to be funded?
I don't think
promoted? I don't know.
Legalized?
Yeah.
Allowed?
Yeah.
Just changing of societal norms?
I don't know. Breastfeeding's bad, apparently, too, like, in public. Like,
you know, because it's not like people did it.
I don't know. People are sensitive. But shall we move on to something? Oh, I guess this
more badass.
Maybe this segues into it a little bit. Anyways,
he probably should hang out with Maisie Williams more.
Yeah, and this is a really good juxtaposition towards Kit's alleged sexism that he faces in the industry.
Maisie Williams.
Yes.
Walked a red carpet promoting some sort of nonprofit organization, raising awareness. Walking the red carpet for that. Chose a sheer dress. Nothing was revealing. It was see-through, obviously. That's the definition of sheer. And I think a online news source decided to overlook the entire purpose of the event and focus on Maisie Williams showing off her body.
Yes. And so she went ahead and rewrote that whole headline, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
And she's like, instead of focusing on a materialistic item that a woman wears, a person wears, she went ahead and rewrote it, saying that Maisie Williams, she raised X amount of dollars,
yes,
which was a lot of money, by the way, with the charity. So, slay Maisie Williams, slay. She's not just slaying on our screens, she's slaying in real life. She really is, like, pretty awesome on social media, might I say.
She is.
Like, she really just, like, shuts it down.
And she actually, Lena Headey totally, like, backed her up and just went on about how she just applauded Maisie Williams. Because she just went on, she said, like, applauding this woman's brilliance, her desire to be curious and fearless in support of vital change in the world. And she even hashtagged Maisie for president.
Oh, yes, definitely. She has my vote for sure.
Yeah, she has the support of Cersei Lannister.
It's just really sad, like, how, and this isn't, like, anything new, that, like, what people wear is more important than, like, an actual, like, charity function. Like, okay, let's just focus on a dress that's a sheer. So once you hear sheer, that's obviously gonna divert attention from something that's actually like a celebrity is actually trying to do something good, something productive for society. Yet they're always, scrutinized for how they appear.
And I want to shame the online publication because she was attending the event in support of a nonprofit which protects children from abuse.
Is Maisie Williams? She's not even like legal, is she?
I think she recently. I think she's about like 18. She might be like 18 now.
She's
like 19.
Adorable.
She's still pretty young.
I still see her as a little kid.
I know.
No lie. But...
Season 1, Arya.
Oh my god.
little pigtail Arya.
So little. They were all so little. Oh god, it's getting me excited. Anyways, excited for like our upcoming topics that we get to talk about.
Let's continue on we'll go with this Game of Thrones flow that we've got going on.
Okay, so are we gonna talk about this last episode or what's been happening?
It would be an insult if we didn't talk about the next episode.
Then let's do it. Because I'm sure we both have so much to say, especially like our predictions and like or what we think is happening. Like just what the heck?
You guys, if there's ever a reason for you to watch Game of Thrones, it is to see episode 9 of season 6 because it is an hour of just brilliant television. It's such a cinematic experience. Holy smokes, you really feel like you're in there with the characters.
I was on the edge of my seat.
So immersive.
I was like, oh my god, like, is this, like, I didn't want this episode to end. Disclaimer, spoilers ahead, so just putting that out there.
I felt like I was right there with him. I was shocked and just amazed at how they could pull off such a spectacle on television. Like, that was definitely, like, movie level, like, cinematic level of special effects, of directing, of just, holy smokes.
Battle of the Bastards, man, like.
Battle of the fucking Bastards.
Oh my god, and that's all they really needed to focus on in that episode. And of course we had Daenerys slaying as well, but, like, that was totally overshadowed by the whole battle. So...
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Well, we'll briefly talk about Daenerys. Dragons came. All 3 dragons came and literally slayed.
Yes.
Everybody.
It was the Harpies, right? The Harpies
were...
and their masters.
Yep.
So we really don't have to worry about them anymore because...
No.
And the army that she gained.
Yeah, Greyjoys came. They found her. Which, Greyjoys travel apparently really quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I guess they were just really close in the area. They were in the area, apparently.
Yeah, which also, Yara's a badass. Like, feminism galore. Like,
I love that exchange between them.
Kicking ass, yeah.
I loved it. I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. This is beautiful friendship. I don't want them to turn on each other. Please do not even think about it.
Yeah, it was badass. Like, I'm excited to see what they do together.
I know. Emilia Clarke, like, she was loving it as well. Like, I was watching an interview with her. She was move over, like, all her possible love interests, bring in Yara, and I'm here for it.
I'm just excited. Like, Yara's just badass, man. And to her with some dragons, I don't know.
Let's move on to this battle, though. Let's move on now.
Oh my gosh. Well, we need to start with
the fact that
Ramsay's the worst person in the world.
Yes.
And Sansa tells Jon that Ramsay is the worst person in the world. And Sansa freaking tells Jon straight up, like, Rickon's not gonna survive.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
she had no
hope for Rickon.
She really didn't.
And it's almost like, it's like, okay, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, holy smokes. Yeah, like, she just straight up was like, Rickon's not gonna make it. Don't play into what Ramsay wants you to do. Like, he's very crafty.
She was being a realist.
And
no emotions. But for once.
Yeah, and we do see Rickon for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes in total of this whole entire season, since, like, season 3, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was brutal. Like,
I saw it coming. Like, I knew, like, Ramsay wasn't gonna stab him, but Jon Snow and his army is all the way over there. Ramsay and his army. There's bows in the back.
Yeah, when that's why I wanted to bring up Sansa, because when he lets Rickon go, I was like, he's expecting Jon to ride off and try to save Rickon, and that's gonna screw them over. But at the same time, I sat there like, Jon has to go and save Rickon. There's no way he can just stand by and watch Rickon get killed even faster. Like, he has to try. And it broke my heart that he had to watch Rickon die in front of him.
But why didn't he run in zigzag? That is the question on everyone's mind.
I think if you're trying to run away from things, I don't really know if you're really thinking about your strategy.
You could have threw him off a little bit.
Maybe. I thought maybe like crawling, but I feel like that would just take too long.
Oh. Play dead. Maybe like, oh, an arrow got me. No, it didn't.
Where's Ghost through this whole thing, by the way? Can't Ghost have just come and dragged him?
I want to know where, like, all of the direwolves are. The ones that are still living. Where's Arya's?
Nymeria.
Where is she?
In the book, supposedly, like, no one even really knows that Nymeria, or if it's, like, some other direwolf, or literally, like, a wolf leader. But there's, like, a wolf, like, that's leading a pack somewhere running around the Riverlands. I think, someone double check me. I'm not sure if it's the Riverlands, but...
I just miss them. Like, okay, 2 of them are already dead.
No, a lot of them.
Well...
There's only 2 of them living.
What was Rickon's wolf? That, like... What was his name?
Grey Wind.
His head. We saw his head this episode.
So he's gone.
Yeah.
Bran's... Summer is probably gone. I think Summer...
Yeah, Summer's gone for sure.
Yeah, Summer's gone. And then Rob's... Oh, Shaggy Dog is Rickon.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know where Grey Wind came from. Just kidding. Shaggy Dog is Rickon, so Shaggy Dog is gone.
There's
Summer
is
gone. That's true. Rob's is gone. I don't remember what Rob's name was.
Did Sansa ever have one?
Lady was gone because that was like way back in season 1 because Nymeria bit Joffrey.
Oh my gosh. Why am I forgetting all of this?
So, Nymeria bit Joffrey. And then Arya was like, that's when Arya threw rocks at Nymeria to run away because she's trying to save Nymeria. And then in retaliation, Joffrey took out Lady because, well, not Joffrey.
Oh my god, no. Reliving all these horrible memories.
Ned Stark brought it upon himself to take out Lady because he wanted to do it. He didn't want Joffrey to do it.
Ugh.
So he did it possibly in his way of trying to be humane and trying to do it right.
We're just relying on Nymeria, basically.
And, well, Ghost is around, but apparently, I mean, I guess in all fairness, he should have not been in that fight because he probably would have died, and that would have been really sad, but...
Yeah. There's just too much wolf death in Game of Thrones.
But when Rickon dies and Jon looks up, that look on his face, he is so... just fueled with anger, and you could just see it in his eyes that he's ready to attack. I was like so impressed with Kit Harington in that moment.
But like, did they have to show like the arrows going into Rickon? Like, more arrows after he was dead? I was like, oh, overkill.
I know, literally overkill.
But it was just like I was shaking basically watching this battle when he was just charging, on his horse, and then like the horse gets like arrows and
there was that really good shot where Jon is just on the ground because his horse has gotten shot. He's on the ground, he pulls out his sword, and
I was like, what the fuck?
He's just standing there as an army of horses are just
the
coming.
Cavalry. Oh my God.
To just like attack him straight on.
Trample him.
That was such a beautiful shot. I was like, it was just so remarkable. How you really just see how small Jon is compared to everybody. But you also just see how, like, fearless Jon is because he is just standing there with his sword, not even phased, and just ready to take them down.
And then, of course, like, it was amazing to see his men as well just back him up, like, and they just collided. Yes, and it was such a great... I mean, you really felt like you were in that battle. I mean, it made me think of, like, Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan. Maybe even less than. More like Black Hawk Down, kind of like shooting where
you really felt like you were in the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you felt like you were in the trenches with them. And especially when Jon got trampled, holy smokes. Like, I was getting a little claustrophobic there.
Yeah, I was like, okay, did they lose? Is he gonna, like fake his death in a sense? So, like, okay, they're done. Like, I didn't know what to think, but it was not over. When he thought it was gonna end, it was not over. And I was like, oh my god, how long is this episode? And it was...
Yeah. And
it seemed so long.
How crazy was that, though? That, like, I loved what they did with how the bodies just piled up, and it just became, like, part of the war. Like, they were using it as, like, Ramsay ends up using it to block them in, but it also becomes, like, an obstacle. Like, that was crazy. Death
became the obstacle.
Yeah.
Pikes, like, and they were, like, trapped with their shields. Like, that was just, like, so tense. I was just, okay, like, I didn't want to see... Tormund was...
Yes. I sat through that episode just crossing my fingers like, don't take Tormund from me.
I was ready to say goodbye. I didn't want to, but, like, okay, I was like,
yeah,
this is it.
When they were boxed in and Ramsay's people were just shoving them with their spears, I was like, oh, I don't know how Tormund's going to make it through this. Like, I'm going to cry.
But there was a light.
He pulled a Rick Grimes, actually.
He pulled a lot. With his mouth, he pulled a lot from that guy's face.
Pulled a Rick Grimes, just bit him.
Yes, and I was happy because, like, he was able to live. This is when everything started picking up.
The turn of the tide, guys.
And then all of a sudden,
Littlefinger,
Sansa, we see them in the distance. They're coming. I don't know why they didn't be there earlier, but...
I know!
Sansa, you know...
Nobody questioned where Sansa was. Like, they were just like, oh, well, Sansa's not in safekeeping, whatever.
She didn't give him, like, a text, a memo, a note. Like, Jon could have let him know or something, but... If she did do that, then we wouldn't have had this amazing battle scene. So I'm fine with it.
I know, because when you see the Knights of the Eyrie just come and just trample Ramsay's people.
Like, your spears were just like, mine were just like, oh, I could breathe, basically.
It was just epic, because the way it was shot too, you just see them literally just take them down in a circle.
You see, like, their flag, and then, like, you're also kind of like, oh, Littlefinger, like.
I know, like, now you owe him a favor.
But, like, overall, like, it was pleasing to see.
Particularly when Jon beat the crap out of Ramsay. That was very cathartic.
Yeah, poor giant. What was the giant's name?
One.
He, he did a lot to that door. He took a lot of shit or arrows.
The door.
He busted down that door. But that was sad. I felt bad. But
I know, he's the last of his kind, guys. There's never gonna be giants.
It was a sacrifice they had to make in order to pummel in Ramsay's face.
Yeah, and when Jon picks up that shield, because apparently all Ramsay can do is shoot arrows.
He didn't even try to run.
I know, like, Jon is over there about to, like, hand-to-hand combat, and he's just shooting arrows, like, seriously?
No wonder why Ramsay didn't want to do, like, the one-on-one. Like, and I loved it how Jon was like, oh, well, your men will fight for you, but you won't fight for them. And I loved that part so much. And also, Sansa, I loved her line when she was like, you're going to die tomorrow, Ramsay. And I was like, oh, man, I hope he does. But I don't think he was. But she said it. And...
it was true.
It was very true.
And honestly... I've never been so satisfied to see somebody
die,
eaten
alive,
shredded, like, and shred to pieces by dogs.
Because at first I was like, Jon Snow was going to finish him off. But I always wanted, and I always predicted that Sansa was going to be the one who I wanted her.
She had to.
She had to. All the things she went through, him basically raping her, marrying her, she was the one who deserved to end him in a sense. I love the smirk at the end when she walked away. I was waiting for her to smirk. I'm like, smile, Sansa. And she did. I was so happy for Sansa.
I'm waiting for Arya now to just come in.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything else?
No. Stay tuned. Next week we're going to have not next week, but our next episode is going to be a very special Game of Thrones episode, you guys. Because we have the big finale coming.
I hope it's gonna be good. I work on that day, but
it's an extended episode.
Yeah.
So I think it's about 90 minutes or something, closer to 90.
So, in sadder news, I'm sure everyone's known about the recent shooting at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, about 2 weeks ago. I was actually, it's crazy because this is Pride Month, and I went to Pride 2016 in Los Angeles, and I woke up that morning, I got an email saying, like, oh, there's been a shooting, and then also, there was apparently an armed man on his way to WeHo, or
to the
Los
LA
Angeles
one.
Pride. So, like, this was a crazy event that's been going on. It's so tragic, it's horrible, and it makes me sad. I got really emotional, but being at Pride, seeing everyone there was awesome because we were all with Orlando. We were really supportive of the community and just not letting this tragic event defeat us, but to bring us together and make us stronger as a community, and to just, violence is not the answer. Hate is not the answer.
Whatever your religion is, whatever your views are, whatever you think is right and wrong, whatever you think is moral and immoral, just don't use violence as a solution. You are entitled to your opinion. You are more than entitled to, freedom of speech, so you are totally entitled to your opinion, but don't bring hate into the equation. Don't take it out on somebody because they don't believe what you believe. It's Pride Month, and what's it, the Pride, what's not the Pride Parade, what is it called? It's like a Pride event.
Yeah, the festival.
It celebrates just
love. Equality for everyone.
It is this beautiful ceremony, and nobody tries, and they're not even spreading hate, so don't bring it upon them.
It's like the most beautiful.
Yeah, they're literally celebrating love and just beauty and the beauties of life. And
yes, all walks of life, all religions, all races, all colors.
Yeah, it's a celebration, and if you don't believe in it, then don't attend it. But don't take it out on them. Don't bring violence. Just love.
Yeah, and that's basically what we just want to say real quick. Our thoughts, love, prayers go out to the families, the loved ones of the victims of the shooting. And if you guys want to support the families and loved ones, please go to gofundme.com/pulsevictimsfund.
Also, on a sad note, Anton Yelchin.
Oh my gosh, yes. This has been so
really
many
sad.
recent deaths.
Very few deaths hit me the way that one hit me.
That was just like
it was just very, it was totally unexpected, just a complete freak accident. But that one hit me hard because when I was in high school, when everybody was going through their Twilight phase, I was totally, completely in love with Anton Yelchin. I watched the Star Trek movies for him like crazy. I was obsessed with that movie. I was so amazed and blown away with him, with his talent. Charlie Bartlett was another one. He was so amazing, and I was so excited to see what he had coming. I've literally seen movies that he's in for him. Like, it didn't matter to me what it was about. It didn't matter to me what it was, if it was good or bad. If he was in it, I went to go see it, and it's really sad that he's no longer with us. J.J. Abrams did a very beautiful tribute to him. It was a short, sweet note, but I cried. And Drake Doremus, who directed Like Crazy, also just did. Very touching. He posted a video from the set, and it was
heart-wrenching.
Yeah, it was.
I'll bet.
It was just him laughing and goofing off, and it was just really sad because it will never happen again. So,
rest in peace for everyone who inspires us. There's lots of beautiful people in this world that we just need to really not take for granted. Yeah, we look up to. And it's just been happening a lot recently. We're just going to need to be nicer to each other and appreciate everyone, whether you're a celebrity, regular person, family.
Because you don't know.
You don't ever know. But on a lighter note, we can get on to likes and kills for the week.
I don't really know how this is a lighter note, but I don't know. That was a weird transition, but we're going to go with it.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. So, my like for the week is Daya. I love Daya so much. She's amazing. Please check her out. She did a collab with Chainsmokers, obviously. Yeah. I love her own songs, like Sit Still, Look Pretty.
That one's a good one.
That one's really good. I'm digging that one so much right now. And of course, this Hideaway. I'm loving this. She's only 17. I did not know that. I thought she was older. She's killing it. She's got so much ahead of her. So check her out, please. She's killing the game. She really is. So, and she reminds me of Maisie Williams for some reason. Does she not?
No.
Just a little bit. She gives me some Arya tease. Just a little bit. She's badass. Maybe it's just because she's badass.
Maybe she's badass.
For a 17-year-old, she just graduated high school. She's amazing.
I feel like because you're going on this, I should talk about Alessia Cara, but
another amazing one.
Also 17. Also, Wild Things is my jam.
Yes.
But my like for this week was actually Be Alright by Ariana Grande.
That's a very good one. I second that.
I don't think I've done that. Have I? I don't remember now. Well,
no.
I'm just gonna do it again.
No, you never did that.
Okay.
You're good. Ariana Grande, Dangerous Woman.
It's a good album.
That's very good. Be Alright's really good. But my jam for that one is Into You. Have you listened?
I have. They're like
good.
back to back on the album, and it's a really good one. But Be Alright is where it's at.
That's a good one. It's a nice jam, just driving down the street.
Yeah, it is. It's a good jam.
I need to go see her again, and I'm gonna actually pay $500 for a meet and greet. Because I'm a crazy soul. No, totally. I'm a creeper.
Totally, because I was about to pay like $500 for front row Coldplay tickets.
Oh, do that. Do it for sure. It's definitely worth it. I'm serious. Do it.
Okay.
You're gonna do it?
Well, I already bought tickets, so.
They're not. Are they front row?
No, they're not.
Damn.
I know.
All right.
Well.
Okay.
Moving on to our kills.
Quick and simple. On E, I have a trouble past with E. Ever since they got rid of Chelsea lately, no more with E. I'm done with E. Rich Kids of Beverly Hills.
Isn't it actually hashtag Rich Kids of Beverly Hills too?
I hate that so bad. No, that's just the title and this thing like quick little snippets of If anything was more superficial and more just turned me off about Hollywood and its privileged youth born into wealth. I'm sorry. No. Die.
My kill is already dead.
Oh.
It was definitely Ramsey.
Oh. Then that worked out perfectly for you.
It was definitely Ramsey Bolton, Ramsey Snow, whatever you want to call him. Doesn't really matter. He's no longer with us.
Yeah. I'm really sad, though, because we got to find someone else to hate. Tommen, maybe?
Maybe. But he's a little too innocent.
We'll just hate the sparrows.
Yeah, we'll just hate the sparrows.
Okay. Well, I liked your kill. I think this was a really good episode, very fun to do, and we're already going on 50 minutes, but maybe we can trim this down a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but this was a good discussion.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yes, thank you guys so much for listening to us. Once again, we're back. Better forever. Better than ever.
Well, we do have our next episode. Our Game of Thrones
please
episode,
stay tuned for that.
So it's going to be good, because lately we've only been talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, how can you not? It's almost over. Then we're not going to be talking about Game of Thrones at all. So this is worth it. We have to do it while we can.
Yes, we do.
While we can. But thanks again, guys. Stay tuned for our next episode of Netflix
and Kill.
Yeah.
You suggested one-on-one combat, didn't you? I've reconsidered. I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.